Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since the last video, but I'm excited to be back with a brand new Apex Legends thumbnail tutorial. Today we are using Blender 4.1 along with a new tool, RSX version 1.0.1. You can find the GitHub and the Discord links for RSX in the description below. This method works with the latest Apex season update, Season 22 Shockwave, and the Techno Terror Collection event. So let's jump right in. Alright, so first things first is that we are going to be downloading the resource extractor RSX from GitHub. And this will be linked in the description. And it's also in their Discord. So once you're on the GitHub page, just navigate over here to the releases and click the little green clickable link. And we are on version 1.0.1. Go ahead and download the rsx.zip and save that wherever you want. I have mine on my desktop. So I'm going to open up and copy the file, make a new folder. You can make this anywhere. I'm going to name it RSX, not RSX, but that's all right. Open up this new folder. Go ahead and paste RSX, and the first time you open it, Windows will ask you if you want to run it. If you are unsure and you want to scan this, make sure you download the official one from the GitHub and scan that one, so you're not just scanning a blatantly fake or application like that, But go ahead, and once you're safe and sound with it, go ahead and let it run. And it opens up. Alright, so first things I like to do is just make it full screen, and we can check out the settings, and everything we need to touch is already on the default. We don't need to touch anything. We're mainly worried about the model being cast, A rig being cast, and the A sequence also being cast. Other than that, settings are fine. And so we can go ahead and open up a file. And if you do not have the game installed on your device, I will have a section after this that is for you. So just stick around for a second or skip ahead, and there you go. So if you do have the game installed on your local device, you want to navigate where it is installed. For me, I have it installed through Steam. So it's in my Steam library on one of my drives. And we are navigating to the Win64 folder inside of the packs folder. Okay, and then once you are in the Win64 folder with all the .rpack files, we are hunting for a few, and they are common, and I'm holding Control after selecting the first file. So common R1, common early, common early 01, and then I like to, you can do common MP01, I suppose, if you want. It just means there's going to be more assets for the tool to load, so it will take a little bit longer depending on how many you really want to load. And then the last two are Root Legend Skins and Root Legend Skins 01. And you should be okay to go ahead and load. If I missed any, please let me know in the comments. I will go ahead and add those in later. And I'm going to open that. I don't know if there's a way to stop some assets from loading, like the extra materials or textures. I don't know if that's implemented yet. This is a new tool still, so not to worry. So I'm just going to drag that around, and let's look for a MDL of Pathfinder, sure. So we can go ahead and search Pathfinder at the top here. And we are looking for .mdl, which we just passed. And we can see Root Legend Skins is the file that this is contained in. and you can go ahead and make this bigger if you want. And so if we look up here, right click to toggle preview mouse control, I can right click and I can move the camera around. And now I'm using WASD SOD to move around, space to go up, shift to go down. So now I can move the camera around, back up, and now I can see what I am previewing in the RSX. So I can right click again, get my cursor back to check out the assets. And so let's say just go this one, and all you need to do is just double click the model, and that will export it to your file where you have put, or your folder where you have put RSX into exported files, a MDL model folder, and the name of the model you just exported. We have the cast files of skin and all the according relevant textures to that skin. Now, something I discovered recently is that you can have it selected like this, export all for selected type, and then I believe this will export all of these skins for the legend, that specific legend. I believe if you were to do that without a search query like that, nothing searched, it would probably do all of these, I believe, because those are the holospray models. So if you wanted to say, let's go Wraith, and then I just go back to the models here, right? I can just select the switch one. I don't need to double click it, export all for a selected type, and then materials, let that go. And then we have the holospray for Pathfinder, all his stuff basically. And now we also have the Wraith. So there we go. We don't have to do all that one by one. That's a really cool feature. And so I don't believe there's sound exporting capability in this tool. I believe there's a patched Legion version in the RSX Discord posted by someone if you're needing sounds. And then for animations, let's go back to Pathfinder, and then I believe we just have to do the same thing like we did for the skins. Just export for selected type. If you want to go crazy and just do it all at once, you can of course just do export all. I'm not too concerned with that right now. I don't know what the settings are necessarily. If someone knows, feel free to comment. I will definitely inform the masses. Materials, I don't think you need them too much. I think those are exported with the skins. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, guys. So if you do not have the game files installed on your local device, this website is called biased12.info. And it says, welcome legend. This website is made to make it easier for artists to start using the Apex files. One of the things you will be able to do is translate the in-game skin names to what model and texture you need for that skin. And he will be making a few guides on how to data mine and do the basics when importing into Blender, just like this tutorial. So if we go ahead and click the skins translator, it's basically a list of all the skins and their names and materials and animations. So we have the base skin of Alter. It's just called base W. Material is base. And let's say we want the Fashion Fatale skin. We're looking for the Fashion Fatale, and then we could just search that in RSX, double click that, and then boom, we have the Alter legend with the Fashion Fatale materials and skin exported just like that. Same thing, let's just search for Wraith instead of scrolling. Boom, we have all the Wraith skins that are available right now within the files. I don't believe it's updated for the Shockwave event right now. I believe it's called the Mania event, Mania Hunt. I don't believe those are added right now, but this is maintained pretty often, I believe, copyright 2024. So yeah, definitely updated this year. So I would definitely bookmark this page. And then as well, he also has the Apex archives. And then this is where you can download the game files if you do not have them installed. So it also includes a mobile archive. So if we want to check out the PC archive, let's go down to Legends, Models, and then let's go to Caustic, and then we can see all the skins, just like RSX or Legion would export for us. And let's go to the Halloween skin, and we can download the cast file, and then it's downloaded right there. And then the images, I believe we'd probably have to do these one by one. I don't know if there's an easy way to download just this folder automatically within this website, but regardless, just go through, download all the images for the skins you want. Of course, don't forget the animations. So you go back into animations, give it a second to load. There are basically all the files in the game that are relevant for creating images and graphics. And then we're under Caustic, right? And we can get his gas tank, grenade, the mug, the helmet. This is the main animation that you want to download, the folders that you want to download. Basically all of Caustic's main animations right here. Of course, you can just download them, click it, downloads it, boom. Of course, feel free to check us out on his socials down below, his Twitter, Patreon, Discord, and GitHub. Alright, so before we actually start importing into Blender, we need to download the cast plugin that is required, and this can be found on the RSX Discord or the GitHub page. So just make sure you download that before getting started in Blender. So once again, I am using Blender 4.1. I'm just going to make a new general file. Go ahead and delete the cube and light. Go under Edit into Preferences, and we are going under Add-ons, install the location of the Blender Cast plugin you just downloaded, install it, make sure to search for it, to enable it, make sure it's enabled, and you're good to go. And then you can go back under File, into Import, and then you should see the cast. Go to the location of your RSX folder, into the exported files, to the model you want to use, and I'm going to select this Pathfinder. I believe you just need to select the LOD 0. If I'm wrong, please let me know. And then you can go ahead and select a bone, and then RX90 brings them upright, and then S 0.0256 brings them down to about a human scale. And that is how we can get Apex models into Blender. So the next part is shading the model. I don't know if the previously built auto texture plugins and a few other tools are working for Blender 4.0 or 4.x, sorry, because they were built for version 3. So we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to manually shade our Pathfinder over here. And it's really not too hard. It's the same process as the last tutorial. Just navigate once again to wherever you have your RSX exported files at. Go into the model you have, and then boom. And now, before we get started shading, we're going to append the shader. So this will be available as well in the description. And I have it called Apex Shader.blend. And inside we are going to the node tree folder. And inside of that, we are selecting the Core's Apex Shader, hit append, and go ahead and delete all of these at the bottom. Search Apex, Core's Apex Shader 1.3, connect the BSDF to the surface of the material output, and then you can go ahead and search whatever part you are on. So we can search head, and from here we are just dragging the textures and matching them to the value. Please note that some of these do have a different color space. So the glossy and the normal color spaces are going to be non-colored. So make sure the glossy and the normal textures are on the color space of non-color, while the rest of them are on a sRGB color space. So all you need to do, type that in, and then that's all you need to do. And I'm just going to repeat this process for every other part of the skin. Alright, so we're done texturing every part of this Pathfinder skin. If you think you're missing a part of the skin, you can just click this option to the sorting option, and then you can see the body emotes, which are the little screen right here. I can get in emotes right here, and then the gear, which right here, and then his head, and then the lens, and the body of course is right there. So we're good to go, and we can go back over to layout, go ahead and switch the render preview. Maybe a good time to save our file too, so I'm just going to call this Pathfinder. Save it on my desktop for now. There we go. And we go ahead and select the LOD over here so that we have the bone selected. And since the animation is also a cast file, we can just import cast and then go up a few folders, into the anim. And then we can go ahead and select a animation to use. Let's see. Usually the execution ones are at the top, but we can go to the teabag one. Why not? Feel free to double click it as well. And now if you see him, your model go face down, make sure you go to project mode, then RX -90 brings them back to standing upright. And then we can just go ahead and click space to render or play the animation. And there we go. We have our model in, shaded, and animated just like that. Now, the next step is to add a HDRI background. So we go into the little world property, click on the yellow icon under color, click environment texture, and then navigate to wherever you have saved the HDRI file. I have it over here called Dry Orchid Meadow 4K.exr. Open the image, give it a second, and then we can go to the next render preview. And now we see we have the HDRI in also as a background. And if you don't want that, just go to the camera. I like to use cycles, and then under film, just click transparent, and there's the HDRI removed, but the lighting is still there. And go ahead and change the render preview just again, and then we can click the camera. Control Alt 0 brings the camera to where our cursor is, I believe, and then you can hit in under view, log the camera to view, so that way you can now move the camera around while being active. And then just like that, go ahead, change that back if we want to. Go ahead and change any of the camera settings. And then if we just quickly render this guy out, it was taking forever. Make sure to go and adjust your settings over here, and make sure if you have a good enough GPU to use GPU compute under cycles at least. And then under edit preferences, under the system, if you have a GeForce card, I believe CUDA is the preferred cycles render device, and then make sure to select your GPU as well, because it was like taking 16 minutes. I was like, that is way too long. So that definitely sped it up by a long shot. Make sure to do that. And then once you are rendered, you're basically good to go. You just go here, image, save as, and then let's just call it path, render, and then save it to the desktop. And then if we go to the desktop, here we are, our little render, boom. And then you can, of course, take this PNG and drag it into your Photoshop, Photopea, you know, whatever photo editing tool you want to use, and boom. Alright, so there we have our model exported from Blender, done with the help of RSX. If y'all found the tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I plan to drop some new videos and shorts very soon based upon some graphics, Blender, and thumbnail tips and tricks. And questions, comments, concerns, etc. drop all of those down below, as well as what y'all want to see next. Y'all have a good one.